the biggest surprise that everybody was blown away was the musical. Preparing that, having that dance, Matthew and David sing, having Alan or Ilka dance as well, you dancing, David dancing. In the game, we get to see these screens and get to interact, and then everybody was like, Game Awards is coming, they gotta be there, they have to be there. And then you guys did perform in front of the live audience. How did all that happen? How that experience was for you?
Oh, I remember at Slush Music, I think it was 2016 or something, talking about the songs and music with wonderful Petri Alanko, who is kind of our core composer here, like brilliant scores and soundtrack music. We were on the stage and we did this slow jam session of going through all of our games up to that point, Quantum Break being the latest, and talking about the music and inspiration and songs and all. And at the end of that slow jam presentation, I said that
maybe one of these days I'll get to fulfill my dream and create a game that's also a musical.
And because like already thinking about these ideas, and we obviously had Take Control in Control, but I was trying to make a musical sequence for that also. But it got scoped out. Like there was so many ideas and so much things, so it didn't fit in. And I was like, next time, next game. And that's one of these things that I do think that ultimately how the context of it in the dark place, this fever dream to begin with, and the talk show setting and all of these, it was a much better setting than what the ideas were for Control back in the day. So once again, a happy thing, not giving up. But you know, there will be a time in the future when these will click into place and it will be even better than you dreamed about it in the first place. I was talking with Marco and poets, figuring it out, like this should be about, like, if it's the talk show, it's back and forth between Dor as the host and Alan Wake as a guest, and okay, then we'll have Old Gods of Asgard as the studio band, and kind of the chorus, and this is the structure, the idea. Like we were talking about the inspirations, I remember mentioning Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Like let's just make it dramatic and all kinds of parts in it. We had learned a lot from Take Control about the idea of a dynamic song that can have different parts that you know, keep on going longer depending on how the player progresses. Because this is a talk show and he's the guest, it's about him and it's about his life. So we'll have 1, his childhood, 2, him as a celebrity writer rising to fame and having his fall, 3, the story of Alan Wake 1, and 4, his current situation trapped in the dark place. And that's the song. How we work is like I give a chunk of story, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and some kind of like loose poetry kind of thing that could it say something like this, could it say something like this. Wow. And Marco, who is a very masterful writer of lyrics, like takes that and kind of like does his thing and makes it greater. And it was running on its own. Then separately we started thinking like, how do we make this into a mission in the game, and many different ideas, and because we were at that point leaning more into the live action, and because talk show is in live action, that became just a natural element. That can we have it like we'll just shoot kind of like music video style from that talk show studio or in the screenplays, like these different segments and parts, and we'll populate the world and you go through it. It's not our usual pipeline. There were times along the way where this mission is falling behind in production because it's more steps and there were the inevitable discussions. So like, can we just cut this, please? Like could we just kind of like not do this? We're like, no, we are doing this. We must do this now. And then ultimately, like through Anssi, we got into contact with Sofia Ruija, who is a wonderful dancer and choreographer here in Finland, and got her involved that we need a dance. What I wanted her to look at was the title sequence of Peacemaker, the TV show, which had kind of goofy,
Yes.
clumsy dancing. Like it should be something like this. And the other thing was the kind of the calibration moves of a motion capture session, where you
Okay.
go like T-pose, move your hands, like all of these steps, and that as a video to her, that something like this. Ilkka will be dancing. He's not a dancer. He's an amateur. I will be dancing. I'm not a dancer. I'm an amateur. It needs to be something that we can learn. And also, like I was saying, like I really hope that this is something that the fans can learn and do their, social media videos of it. And then she provided it, and it was brilliant. And I was absolutely despairing the first weekend getting the videos and trying to learn it. And I was like, I'm never gonna learn this. But yeah, like repetition. And then have to say, like Jeff Keighley, it's because of him that we were at Game Awards. He contacted us. He wanted it. We were like, we don't think that this can be done. But then we were talking and finding a way, and ultimately that then happened. And it's wonderful. I would never in my life have imagined performing a dance number live on stage, streaming to 118 million people across the world. Once in a lifetime. Really, really happy that we did it. Like it was a lot of fun all through the way.